Alright, good morning guys. Welcome. This is the 73rd episode of the Ironman challenge. As well as it is September 13th, 2017. How is everyone? Jennifer, Nikki, Yuri, Nux. Good morning, how are you guys doing? So, since we are doing this first thing in the morning, let's go ahead and knock out the rules real quick. For the Ironman challenge, we do have no dying, no gear above white quality, no gear enchants, no talents, no potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no healthstones, unless you're a warlock. So for the month of September, we're all okay. No joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses, no food buffs, no XP boosting activity, no pet battle leveling, no battlegrounds, no bodyguards, no professions. I think more often than not, we're going to run through that more quickly in the beginning because from what I found, people tend to ask later on in the stream anyway, so we'll just kind of keep that template available. For those that are new, you have the rules on your right. Your Ironman challengers are on your left for this month. Eric says, good morning Eric, how are you doing? For this month, I did go ahead and highlight everyone that's made it above level 20 so far. I think that was the criteria for the orange font. So that is that. To be a part of that race, we are doing the Warlock race for September for Keithy's event. We're doing a charity for Friends for Impact. Those guys research brain tumors that occur in children, so this whole month is kind of dedicated to them, give them a little bit of more publicity, as well as maybe even give them a couple more funds to be able to do the research. So that's what that's all about. As far as how you can join at any time during the month. We are doing this for the whole month. There's no real advantage in joining on the 1st as opposed to today or even a week from now. So feel free to join us at any time. But with that, we'll go ahead and knock that out and get right back into the leveling here. So this time for us, it is destruction. I've actually enjoyed the spec quite a bit. I don't think I'm as efficient in it as I could be. Let's see. Clean up all the add-ons here. We are in the 3rd week of patch 7.3. If you guys haven't been out there just yet, it is out. Me and the girlfriend did knock that out yesterday, and it's a lot of fun. It's actually pretty neat to see the story behind Argus and Valen and how everything else has kind of worked itself out lore-wise. But with that, we're going to head toward this quest. Jennifer says, just noticed that Voidwalker got a 6-pack. He did. They revamped him a while back, and then I think they revamped the Infernal looking thing. I think they revamped that twice now. So yeah, they've kind of gone back and revamped a lot of these pets, which is nice. They've even gone back and revamped some of the battle pets as well. So it's pretty nice. I do like how they've done that. And then it says, Jennifer says the new dungeon is nuts. So I've run it twice already. We did run that once, and it is pretty neat. I like it. It's kind of non-linear in the fact that I don't know if there's different spawn points within the location or if they're set. But I do like that running back and forth just as a change of pace instead of always running down like a linear path or a hallway or something like that. So that's kind of neat. Now it says, good morning now. How are you doing? And Conspiracy says, back was eating. Welcome back, Conspiracy. How's your morning going? Yeah, so now is level 56 now. So she's leading the way. Well, not quite. I think you're in 2nd place. I think Only's still leading the way there. I think for this, I'm going to keep the Voidwalker out just because I don't think we're in a high density of mobs. So what do I need to do for this quest? We did have a quest item, I believe, yes. So with that, we'll run down south. We did get a updated cloak that we didn't put on last time. So let's see how that looks. Very nice. Actually, let's go ahead and clean our bags out now, just so we have everything nice and tight before we get started. Alright. Still have not come across a cloth vendor, so maybe one of these days we'll get a little nice transmog going. Until then, it's kind of a piece by piece set. Mel says, what's going on? Good morning, Mel. How are you doing? Alright, so with this, let's go ahead and... So I'm thinking trying to rearrange this so that it has a little bit better muscle memory, because what I want to do is start Incinerate, because there's a delay in the sense that there's a delay because it takes time for that spell to actually make it to the mob. So I'm going to try to set up my toolbar here just so I can more effectively do this. With this being said, we are back in shark territory, so there's 4 sharks in this open area. So as we come across, them, we'll try to mark them, but sometimes they can be a little difficult to see. She says, how does Only always catch up and pass you? Only has been doing the Ironman challenge for a couple years now, so he's very skilled in leveling. So it looks like the days of our Chaos Bolt one-shotting mobs is past us now. So that's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, kind of expected. Should I say? So it's all good. At least it hits them for like 80 to 90% of their health, so it's still a fun spec. I think as far as rotation goes, I think we got a staff actually. So that's the nice thing about the Ironman challenge, is that sometimes the gray items that you pick up can be an upgrade. So I won't complain about that. The staff's not really an upgrade. I think it increases the damage you do if you were to swing the staff at them, but generally speaking, I don't think it helps casters all too much like a weapon helps a warrior, or say a rogue or something like that. So with that, let's go ahead and see if we can kill the rare here before AH logs on. I say that and he's probably watching in the shadows. With that though, we're also, for the Warlock, you can use the Unending Breath buff. So we don't have to worry about a breath all too much. Main thing we have to worry about out here is our is the sharks. So that's shark number 1. We'll give him a circle. And let's go take a look for the crab. I think that thing just killed the crab, or killed the Naga, so we'll keep an eye out for that. So let's go ahead and switch to the Naga suit. And now it says, yes, almost 56. Congrats now. What's your playtime so far, or what was it at 50? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and make sure the crab kind of, there he goes. Nope, that's not it. I was gonna say, it kind of patrols in a semicircle, so we'll keep an eye out for it, but by no means are we going to hunt it down. It has a pretty wide patrol path, so there's no real advantage in chasing it down. But yeah, we grew quite a bit over the weekend. I think we are up to 44 challengers that are, being tracked at the moment, and I believe another 3 or 4 have work going on and other real life obligations, so they'll be joining us later in the month. So this thing's growing quite nicely. So it was funny this past weekend when I was talking in Discord. I had sent up a message, and then I was letting everyone know, hey, it looks like we're going to lose power here, so what I'll do is I will log off and talk to you guys later. And as I was typing that message, I lost internet, so there we go. We only lost the internet for about 24 hours, so it wasn't too bad. Irma didn't affect us too negatively. Alright, so kind of like we did last time. Let me see, what's the best way to do this? Just so we don't have stuff sneaking up behind us, I'm going to pop out of the suit and blow these guys up here. Just so we don't have these crabs working their way behind us. Let's see. Now it says Searing Gorge was dark and full of terrors. That nearly killed me. I've never done Searing Gorge, so I heard. Honestly, I've heard everything in what do you want to call it? Eastern Kingdoms is dangerous. So now it says one day to 55. Really? Wow, that's really good. I think you're going to be pretty comparable to what's his name? Only. Yeah, I think he had like 25 hours to level 60. Alright, so with that, we're going to trap this guy. It's best for these guys to try to trap them at max range, because the trap doesn't work, you know, if it's past, what, 30 yards or whatever. But it also doesn't work if the mob's hitting you. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword. Wow, that was close. That's dangerous. Alright, so that's shark number 2. What we're going to do, we're going to keep it like last time, in the sense that we pop out of the suit and make sure we heal Sam back up, just because he has such low health. It's just not advantageous to try to pull more than one. Like I said, you don't want to fight these guys one-on-one. They get really close and then they hit like trucks. So as much as possible, you just kind of want to blow them up. Then we'll pop out of the suit, summon Sam again, and then keep going. Right, just like that. So we'll pop back out, resummon them, just to be safe. This is a dangerous quest. I've died here once doing this quest, and then I've nearly died again. So this quest you definitely want to kind of do as systematic as possible, and we'll just, even though it's going to take longer, we're going to summon Sam every single time. It's just one of those things where it's that risky. We'll go back over here just so when we pop out of the suit, we don't aggravate all the other Naga in the area. I think Conspiracy says you should get 4 of your friends that are already 110. Whoops. Alright, we're still alright. Conspiracy says you should get 4 of your friends that are already 110 and clear dungeons over and over again when you're not doing Ironman. Why is that, Conspiracy? What's the advantage for doing the dungeons over and over? You'll be level 20 in less than 10 minutes. Oh, for leveling. Yeah, so for leveling, dungeons are a pretty good way to go. Alright, so let's see if we can get this guy without the shark sneaking up behind us. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can dot him up pretty well here. Watching the shark come up behind us. There we go. And let's resummon Sam just to get him back up at full health. There we go. We did manage to kill that rare again. That's kind of nice. And let's see. Once we kill this guy here, we'll loot these 2, grab the cloak, and let's see if we can grab one more servant of Neptulon here. Oops, we do need to resummon Sam though. Alright, so with that, I see Moody sent the... Oh, I did get your in-game tail, Moody. Alright, so with that, I will check that out a little bit later, and then we'll knock out this guy real quick. Yeah, so that's what you want to be careful of. Sometimes, even though you throw the trap, it seems like throwing a trap and the trap actually hitting them are 2 different things, and you actually aggro them as soon as you throw it. So just kind of be careful for that. We'll go turn this quest in real quick, because we have to follow it up with breaking the rocks in the area. So I think we also need to kill these guys eventually, just so they drop the knapsack or whatever. So we'll do that real quick. And Tassie says, hey, good morning, Tassie. Long time no see. How you been? I know you said you've been busy here recently. How's everything going for you? I think we can make it back this way. Yes, we can. Perfect. And that says, hey, Tassie. Now, let's see. Tassie says, what level are you? I am 33 at the moment. We're about halfway, a little over halfway to 33. So it's not too bad at all. The XP from these quests is pretty decent. The only bad thing about it is it's kind of one at a time. There is one other quest that we're doing here, but it's kind of passive. So with that, we'll go ahead and we'll break up these rocks here. Conspiracy says, like I said, you can get a friend that has 2 people mount on your rocket now, and you can fly you around. Oh, you're talking about regular leveling. I got you. Yeah, me and the girlfriend, we started up a recruiter friend thing, and that's been quite a bit of fun here recently. Going to buff my guy up again, and let's see if we can kill these guys just so we can get the satchel off of them. Nice. Alright, so I want to try to stay underwater so the camera doesn't crash through all too often. And I think none of these guys drop the satchel, but this one does. So we'll kill him real quick. And now it says class as, let's see. I'd class that as cheated personally. You're meant to do it alone. Yeah, as far as the Ironman challenge goes, the idea is to level up either through questing or grinding mobs. So any sort of inclusion of groups or friends or anything like that, you want to avoid as much as possible. But I think Conspiracy was talking about the just normal leveling, I believe. I'm not sure. It says, how does recruiter friend as far as the Ironman challenge, it does not. We're just kind of doing that on the side as we knock out Argus, but also just kind of leveling tunes and one to get her a mount or a pet. So that's kind of the whole idea behind it. But no, as far as recruiter friend, it doesn't benefit you at all, especially for the Ironman challenge. Oops, you got just out of range. There we go. As it says, busy working farming time between that and... Oops, let's go ahead. No satchel just yet. And we'll blow this guy up. That says farming time between that and sick kids. My dad is being in the hospital. I haven't had time to play. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tessie. Is your dad doing alright though? Is he on the mend, or is it something that he's going to be there a while? Let's see. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up. Lops says, hey, just got noticed that you're streaming. What's going on, Lops? Good morning. How are you doing? Yep, we just started not more than maybe 20 minutes ago, so you're not late by any means. We're still... Okay, perfect. We did get that. So we'll go ahead and switch back to the... Ooh, I lost Sam. We'll switch back to the Naga suit here. And off we go. Like I said, for this area, the biggest concern for this area is avoiding the sharks. I've had one come close and he didn't actually aggro, so that was kind of nice and fortunate. And we have one. We need 5 of these fragments. Alright, that works out. We've only been able to mark 2 of the 4 sharks. The problem with the sharks is that they are they're aggressive whether you're in the Naga suit or whether you're just, you know, swimming around normally. So you just want to be careful of those guys altogether. Like I said, there is number 3, so we'll give that one a an X here. And then we'll break open this dirt as well. Tassie said, yes, just a gallbladder. Oh wow. I kind of dread getting old just because I don't have to worry about that stuff. We need one more ancient fragment here. Hopefully, sometimes these things don't give you any of the ancient fragments, and they just kind of give you the older stuff. And Iona, if I'm saying that right, Iona, good morning. Thank you for the subscription. How are you doing? With that, let's go ahead and break this open real quick. And the what I usually try to do is wait for the dust to settle, and usually the one that's kind of glowing is the one you want to pick up, but just to be more safe than sorry, I pick up everything I can. Usually your little stones that you break apart are near ruins, and I'm just making sure there's not a shark above me. So we're going to try to make our way toward at least one set of ruins over here. We have 4 of the 5. Do we need 4? Oh, we only need 4. Okay. Alright, so with that, we're good. I thought we needed 5, but we only need 4. So in order to stay in the Naga suit, I just use the command use ancient tablet fragment, and that generally takes care of that. I'm just gonna avoid this shark real quick. Moody says, "Hey Qyune, good morning, Moody. How are you doing? Welcome back. I did get your message earlier, so I'll check that out when I can. So we'll go ahead and use that. Use ancient tablet fragment. If I can spell it, there we go. So that's done, and there we go. So we pretty much need to talk to this guy at the moment. Excuse me. I think we do. No, we don't. We need to go back. Okay. I'm a little early. So we'll go ahead and choose the water strider here. There we go. Yeah, we're a little early for that quest. I think we have to turn it in over here, and then we have to run back across the water. Just in case the sharks hadn't killed you, they want to give you as much of an opportunity to die to those things as possible. Paraton says, "Morning, cute. Hope you're safe after the storm." Thank you, Paraton. Yes, we did. We made it just fine, actually. We only lost internet and power a couple times. I think we lost internet for about 24 hours, so it wasn't too bad, but thank you for that. We did make it. We were able to survive that. And trying to keep an eye out for the rare spawn over here, just in case. I think it's been killed already. I didn't see it beforehand. And let's see. Just so we can get back on land more effectively. Blow this guy up. It's still not too much of a disadvantage to kill these guys early on. Even though you don't necessarily need them, the XP they generate is pretty decent, so it's not a waste of time by any means. Let's see, more says a conspiracy, and now said back in a bit. Alright, now, no problem. Let's see, let's go ahead and blow up everything around here. And Tassie says, had to stop by and say hi, good luck. It's 5 a.m. 5 a.m. here. Going to try to sleep a few more hours. Alright, Tassie, well, thank you for stopping by. You have a good rest of the morning. Yeah, like I said, the storm wasn't too bad for us. It did get a little windy, and we did get a tornado warning or two, but fortunately didn't see anything. The tornadoes are the biggest thing that you have to really be aware of, especially if it's a low category hurricane. It's just there's not much you can do in the face of a tornado. You know, they just kind of sporadically drop down, and you have really seconds to get ready for them. So that was a more concerning thing than the actual hurricane. So with that, we'll blow this guy up. Pablo says, hello there, good morning, Pablo. How are you doing? Welcome back. We're almost 34. We started this morning about 33 and a half, so not bad. Not bad at all. I think we should be able to make it to Fairless today, I hope. We have a good bit of questing to do. Oh, you know what? I can put that achievement up. Let's do that. Quest. Let's see. We are in Kalimdor and we are in Desolace. So usually I keep this achievement up just to kind of get a perspective of how far along we are. It looks like we're 21 of 55 quests, so probably a little less than halfway. So we have a good amount of content in the area, and that is level 34. And we did get a follow-up, I think, right? Yep. The enemy of our enemy. I don't think we need to turn in that other quest just yet. We'll save our Hearthstone just to Hearth back out and then turn in the quest at Nigel's Point. But since we went ahead and cleared the path, we can just run back to the edge of the water. Father says, smooth. Yes, sir. We're doing pretty good. Like I said, we have just hit 34, and hopefully, maybe today we can hit 40. Kind of keep ourselves somewhat competitive with Nail and the rest of them. Let me go ahead and switch to the Water Strider here. But yeah, still liking Destruction. It hasn't betrayed me just yet. It's still a pretty good spec, and I think overall it's a lot faster than Affliction. So definitely no complaints with destruction. I think though that maybe at 40 we'll still give demonology a shot just to see if the field guard makes the DPS and the killing of mobs that much faster. Alright, so with that we'll go ahead and watch out for that shark. There's one shark that hasn't been labeled. We've managed to get 3 of the 4. So I'm just trying to keep an eye out for that guy. But it looks like we're alright for now. And he says, good. I'm good, just sitting around having a good time. What server are you on? I main on Khadgar and Ilaria, Moody, so that's the server I hail from. They are merged servers, and I actually have them both filled up with alts, to be honest. With that, let's go ahead and turn that in here. And then for this quest, you want to talk to this guy, jump on top of him, and then he is kind of melee based. He has a lot of spells, but he's more melee based, so you want to stand right on top of the mob here and apply damage. Otherwise he'll sit there at a ranged distance, and it just makes it a much closer battle than it needs to be. So just giving him the ability to passively melee her does quite a bit of damage. Progressive says, morning Qyune. Good morning, Progressive. How are you doing? Congrats on all the levels, by the way. Let's pop back out. And we'll turn this in. At this point, we'll go ahead and hurt to Nigel's point once we turn it in. Alright, we'll accept that. And yes, we'll go ahead and hurt at this point. Moody says, Affliction is where it's at though, dots for the win. Yeah, as far as survivability, I think Affliction's best. I think it gives you the best chance of surviving. The one time or 2 times that we've died, let me go back and say it this way. Affliction gets really strong at 36 because the Drained Soul, I believe, actually applies some sort of a bubble to you and your pet. Alright, so with that we'll head down here. So it gets really strong at that point, but up until then it's okay. We did die at 42 last time, and that was just due to a mob bugging out, but there's not too much you can do with a mob bugging out as it did that one time. Let's see, we did learn that. We'll just get the more expensive of the 2 items, and then we'll fly over here, turn this quest, and I think at this point it's going to have us go toward the middle of the map. So with that, I do need to remember to do a playtime at 35 hours, or sorry, level 35, just to see how competitive we are as we move along. Jared says Soul Leech is too strong. Yeah, I think it's Drained Soul. I think that's the name of it. It's Drain Life for destruction, but I think it's Drained Soul for affliction. And yes, it is very strong. It hits hard, and then it heals for 200%. So Moody says Drained Soul you get very early, so it's easy to survive. And then Jared says 10 or 15% of your damage as a shield for you and your pet, I think. Yes, Jared, that is correct. I don't know if it's 10 or 15%, but yes, that is correct. And that kind of helps your Voidwalker survive a lot longer than it would normally. I'm kind of surprised that the Voidwalker is as weak as it is, given that it's a tanking nature of a pet. Even more so when you compare it to a hunter, but I think at the end of the day, once you start getting more and more spells and you know, you have all those shields, it's not too bad at all. I think it's going to be even stronger once we get the Field Guard. But the problem that I'm going to have at 40 is just kind of relearn the rotation. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. As of now, our rotation includes maybe 5 buttons for most of the time. Usually if we use Chaos Bolt, it's close to a one-shot, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, we'll go ahead and head in this direction. I'm going to drop this quest, just because we're not going to do that. We're not going back to Stone Town Mountains, and we're definitely not going to Stranglethorn. We are definitely staying here and avoiding these guys as much as possible. Ooh, I did forget to make my Healthstone. There we go. When it comes to the Ironman challenge, for any other class they cannot use a Healthstone, but for a Warlock you can. So you know, you do have that availability as any spec, so it's not limited to say affliction or something like that. You can use the Healthstone net for any spec. He says 600% is just ridiculous. It is, but I say it's kind of balanced with the damage output. So for example, it's generally provides the same amount of healing as say your Drained Soul, but Drained Soul only has 200% because it does much more damage. If the Drained Life did as the equivalent amount of damage, it'd be overpowering. But I think the reason it's 600% is it just does maybe a third of the damage that Drained Soul does. And Lop says for PvP, Affliction Warlock. Yeah, I think if you abandon or you sacrifice your Voidwalker, you get some sort of shield, right? I think that's how it goes. Alright, so we'll go ahead and set our Hearthstone here. Just so we have a place to run back to. And there we go. And with that, we'll grab the fight path as well as the other two quests in the area. And then it says Wrath of the Lich King, facial spec. You know, the last time I played a Warlock was in Burning Crusade, and I think it was Affliction at that time. And that was extremely powerful, especially when you had your, I forget what the spell was called at that time. When you had the thing that it was instant cast and it feared someone for 2 seconds and made them run wherever they would go. I can't remember what that was called, but yes, that was a very fun spec at that time. Alright, so with this part, we need to avoid the enraged Kodos. Those guys are elites and they hit like trucks, so definitely don't want to spend too much time fighting those guys, but we do need to grind our way through here real quick. Alright, with that, so we need a bunch of, how many of these plants? We need 7 or 10? Yeah, we need 10 plants, plus we need to kill 7 of the wandering plants. I think they're called lashers. So with that Kodo is not that aggressive. And we'll go ahead and drain soul, or drain life. Alright, not bad at all. And Moody says, I'll be honest, Lux are my least favorite class. I tried leveling one now, but Affliction is just so... yeah, Affliction is rather slow. And that's kind of the reason I switched to Destruction, is because Affliction can be extremely slow. But then again, Nell and I think Only have gone Affliction, and it has a much higher survivability rate. And I think Only managed to get to level 60 in 25 hours as Affliction, so that's really impressive. Go ahead and blow this guy up as well. See if we can give him a Chaos Bolt. Oh, that's hitting hard. Very nice. So the one thing I've learned about Chaos Bolt is it does crit every time. So that's a benefit. Let's see. Go ahead and blow this guy up as well. Give him a Chaos Bolt. And Austin says, sitting here at work, wishing I was playing Warcraft. Shaking my head. Very nice, Austin. Now, do you play at home? You play at home, right? I think we talked about that once. But yes, that is kind of funny. Thanks for watching that work, by the way. Appreciate that. I don't know if the job does, but appreciate that. That's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up as well. I need to use Chaos Bolt more often. I think as a Warlock we passively get up to 3 soul shards just kind of running around. So a lot of times I have Chaos Bolt available and then I don't use it. So Ratbus says, good morning, Ratbus. I think that's the first time I saw you this morning. How are you doing? Same Austin, I'm at the graveyard shift not doing anything. Very nice. So at least 2 people are watching from work. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. How's work treating you, by the way? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow up this one. And then we have a goblin over here who gives us a quest to capture 3 aged or ancient kodos. So we'll mess with that here. I guess now, actually. Now is probably the better time to do that. Now it says affliction is just dots and then soul drain. Yeah, pretty much. The temptation with affliction is because it's spec like that is to pull more than one. I might do that to be more competitive next time. It seems like having that spec and only doing one at a time seems to make it more a lot slower than it would be normally. So I think I'll pull more than one at a time if I go back to affliction. So we have an aged kodo here. I'm gonna grab this real quick. And they run a little bit slower than your mount, so you don't want to outrun them. Just kind of, as much as possible, keep an eye on them behind you. Grass says, Austin, you're sitting at work watching this. I think you're doing fine. Maybe so. I know there's no alternative to playing yourself. Moody says, yep, affliction is just dots and drain. Vaj says, hello, good morning, Vaj. How are you doing? Welcome back. We are all of halfway to 34, actually. So we get about here, just have to inspect it, and we'll get 2 more. The other good thing is, as we do this quest, we have a chance to allow spawns to respawn. Because for this quest, for some reason, there's not really enough to complete the quest in a, straight first time attempt. Let's see, that one's dying. That one's dying as well. And this one's dying. Oh wow, that's the first time I've seen an Rage Kodo over here. Alright, so I think we need to grind our way to... Nope, that one's dying as well. Wow. We might be following behind someone, to be honest. I think normally there's either aged or ancient kodos all over the place, but it looks like it's not going to be the case here. We're going to have to come back and kill these guys anyway, but that's interesting. I've never had it where we couldn't actually find the aged or ancient kodos. That's odd. Okay. We'll work with that. And Austin says, I work in telecommunications and I'm terminating a closet and watching the live stream, so it's going to be a chill Wednesday. Very nice. Like I said, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Alright, so that one's dying as well. That's incredible. I've never seen it where we haven't been able to reach one of these kodos from this far away. Alright, so with that, grab this last one right here. Hopefully won't aggro the bird. And let's go turn it in. Kind of keep an eye on him. Hopefully you won't abandon me. I says, I see how the the questing areas, especially the low ones like Desolate and Fellwood. Yeah, no, Vaj, that's only because we've done it probably 4 to 5 times with the Hunter, and then this is our 3rd time with the Warlock. So it's one of those things where as long as you can get past the repetitiveness of dying and leveling through the same area, it's actually really advantageous to, I guess, what do you want to call it, stick to the same leveling path as much as possible. Alright, so we'll inspect that. Just because if you switch to, say, if you're Alliance and you switch to Horde, you kind of have to relearn that whole path, and that kind of kills any advantage you had in dying beforehand. Nope, can't do it. I tried. Can't use the recovering kodos. Moody says, are you having a good time? Press the like button. Oh, thank you, Moody. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for the subscriptions and likes this morning. I think we've had... Iano's been the only one I've seen so far. Well, I appreciate that. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and grab this guy. See if we can avoid pulling the bird. There we go. Progressive says. There you go. Perfect. Did we lose power much, Qyune? We did lose it sporadically. I think between the power and the internet, we were out of service for about 24 hours. So definitely not bad in comparison to some of the people in southern Florida. Try to stay as close to this guy as possible. I think some of those guys are still without power, so hopefully it'll be alright. Oh, age Kodo. It only says terminating a closet. Was it particularly an evil closet? Very nice, only. Good morning, by the way. Welcome back to the stream. It says no, only 10 to 60. Then the other. Oh wait. Conspiracy has only is the kind of guy that could solo to 100 without heirlooms in less than a day. Then he says nope, only 10 to 60, and then on a better class than a Warlock. Alright, so let's inspect him. Yeah, the only is you're flying, man. The 25 hours to get to level 60 is pretty insane. I think that's going to be a hard one to beat. Alright, so we'll turn that in. There is another quest up north that we need to grab here in a second, but I think we need to kill 2 more lashers. I didn't see any in running around. I do see that one right there, though. So if this one's respawned, maybe there's one closer to the base that's also respawned. So we'll knock that out real quick. Only says, and even that gets a little dicey at the end. Very nice. Like I said, you've been leveling pretty quick here. I think you've only died once, haven't you, Hilton? I think everybody else, including myself, for the most part, has died 2 or more times. So those couple years of experience is really paying off. Let me go ahead and head back, turn in these 2, and then we'll grab the leeches off of the giant thunder lizards, or whatever they're called. Chris says, we caught the last storm in Kentucky, just rain and 20-mile-an-hour winds. That's not too bad. Like I said, we had more tornado warnings from Irma than anything else, so there was that to watch out for. But did you guys lose power progressive, or is it kind of just a heavy rainstorm? Because I think out in Kentucky you guys get pretty significant thunderstorms, right? Because you're kind of in that Midwest open area kind of location. Alright, so with that, we will head over here. And we need to plant 5 of the seeds and then kill 10 of these lizards once we've applied the leeches to them. So we'll put that there. There we go. So that's number 1. I think as soon as you throw the leech, it gets aggressive. So go ahead and grab this guy. The tree's all in my face here. There we go. Nope. I'll throw the leech first. I did turn off the AoE effect from the Void Walker, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me for any reason. I think it's generally okay. And there we go. That's the just when you kill these guys, don't forget to pick up the little grub that pops off of them, or leech, whatever it's called. Let's see. Austin says evil closet. Nice. Let's see. Let's go ahead and drain his health here, and we'll grab that. Conspiracy says, I leveled 1 character from 1 to 110 and bought the rest of my characters. Tornado. Yeah, Conspiracy. So we had the reference in the tornado is that for during hurricane, the little bit of hurricane armor that we got, we had some tornado warning. So that's what I was talking about with that. Sean says, hey Qyune, good morning, Sean. How you been? Welcome back. Says, how you been? We've been pretty good. We've started this morning at about 33.5, and we are almost 35. Maybe Let's go ahead and go around this guy. Maybe about 25-30% from 35. So let's go ahead and just kill the blaster. That way it's not going to sneak up behind us. And then Latone says, "Hi my dudes, good morning Latone. How are you doing? Welcome back." Alright, so let's go ahead and throw that here. And use the Chaos Bolt. Yeah, like I said, the Irma wasn't too bad for us at all. Let me go ahead and drop this plant here. There we go. But yeah, no, Hurricane Irma wasn't too bad for us at all. Like I said, we got the outer bands, and it was more of a concern for tornadoes than anything else. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and drop a Chaos Bolt and dot this guy up real quick. And then look for the little grub here. And let's go ahead and blow that guy up. Just because we don't want him sneaking up on us afterwards. Alright, so with that, let's throw the leeches on this guy. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, we did a good portion of 7.3 this weekend, and a little bit yesterday afternoon. I was fortunate enough to get the... Alright, we're looking for the leech, if I can find it. There we go. I was able to get lucky enough to get the proc on my frost relics to go from 935 as well as 925. I think the girlfriend, you got 930 how? Can't remember. But yeah, it is worth going through to Argus, even if you have, say, 920 item level or something like that. Your gear the gear you get from the Veiled Argonite can proc pretty nicely for you. I think the cap is at 950, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't see a leech from that guy. I thought we threw the bottle, so go ahead and knock this one out as well. Perfect. And that is 2 more leeches. And then we just have to kill the Stormwalkers, I think. Yeah, Stormwalkers. And with that, we are looking for the... There we go. Sometimes the leech can hide in this thing, and it's a little difficult to find them, but for the most part it does take off, and it is easy to see. Throw a leech at this guy and dot him up. Perfect. And then I think we only need 1 more of the plants planted here. Perfect. And what else do we have? This rare, the one that you see the pink little locations for, he can spawn anywhere. He has a ton of different locations, so it's not really too advantageous to go out of your way to farm him, just because sometimes he can be a little difficult to come across, and it can be a little bit of a time sink. So we'll go ahead and dot that up. And avoid that windstorm. I don't know if that will one-shot you. I doubt it, but we'll stay away from it just the same. No need to take unnecessary risk, I suppose. Space says, "Once I was 7 years old, but my mom said make some friends and you'll be lonely." Nice. I think that's a forget who sings that song. Alright, so with that, grab this real quick and kill this guy over here. I thought that was rare for a second, but I don't think there's any rare Kodos. It says they should make a Z-phone that can turn into a car like a transformer. You know, I think the limit there would be the budget on that. The amount of people that could actually afford that. Alright, so with that we just need 1 more in this direction, I believe. And like I said, we're all about 25% from level 35. So I just need to remember to do a slash play, just so we, in case we die, we have a comparison. If we do a destruction again, or affliction, or whatever it is. But with that, we do have 3 quests to turn in, and I think at this point we start hunting the centaurs in the region. Conspiracy says, like a Transformer. You know, I don't think I've seen the 5th Transformer movie. That one was, that one I haven't seen. I saw the one with the 2 T-Rexes, but I haven't seen the one after that. Full Screen says, hey, good morning, Full Screen. How are you doing? Welcome back. We are, closing in here on 35. We might hit it with these 3 turn-ins. But how's your morning going? Mao says, my favorite spec is Demonology because I love my demons too much. Always, as always, wishing you luck. Well, thank you, Mao. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I think we will give the Demonology spec a go once we hit level 40. I'm kind of anxious to play the Felguard and see how strong or how powerful it is. I know your pets kind of generate... Oh, Sam's awake. Hey, little dude. Still has squinty little eyes. Goodness. But yeah, I think, turn that in. I think the Felguard is going to be pretty fun to play with. Plus it has a decent amount of armor, and I think its survivability is a little bit better than the Voidwalker. So that is 35. Let's do a slash played. So at level 35, we are at 11 hours and 14 minutes. 11 hours. So not too bad. I don't know how that's going to translate into maybe what we'll get at level 60, but seems okay. Seems alright. Tootie says, morning. Good morning, Tootie. How are you doing? Welcome back. And Magic says, Prey hunting is fine. Elite quest though. Oh, someone said something. Oh, Conspiracy says, stop rare hunting. Yeah, we're not hunting them just yet. Like I said, that one has a lot of spawn locations, so we're going to try to stay clear of hunting that one. And with that, we need to head north. There is a quest up here where we have to go back into the graveyard, so I'll go ahead and grab that quest now, since we're relatively close to the location. Oddly enough, there's nothing to really provoke you to pick up this quest, so it's just having the background knowledge or experience in picking it up. But it is within this little hut, I believe. It sits on the in the little yard. Full Screen says, good, how about you? We're doing pretty well. I think we're not doing too bad at all this morning. We did start at level 33.5. It's been about an hour of gameplay so far. And we are level 35 now, about 10% of the way in. So we do have the dish that we need to put on a toolbar here. Alright, so that. But with this quest, this one's a little bit buggy in the sense that you can't use the quest item outside of the indicated area on the map. Alright, so let's see if we can run around this guy without aggroing him. Nope. So we'll pull him in here. Usually I try to kill stuff, but just for the sake of the Ironman challenge, we are going to outrun it. Or Ironman race, should I say. That's kind of what makes the race a lot more dangerous, is that you pull stunts like that. And if there's anything that kills people, it is that. So I should probably stop doing it, but let's see. Looking for the elite Kodos here. I don't see them. Let's see. We need the bones, and I guess we'll check out the Kodos on our way back. I don't see any in the area. I don't want to spend too much time trying to hunt them down. They are elite mobs, and generally speaking, they're supposed to stay in this area, but we might be kind of falling behind someone. So, in the effort to save time, we'll keep going with the other quest. And let's see. Tootie says, Philwood. No, sir. This is Deathless. So we'll stay out of that. And so yeah, Saw Kodo, and now it says Felguard may not always keep the threat off you, like the Voidwalker, so be careful. I did not know that. I thought, does the Felguard have a taunt? Or not really, it just hits hard. Oops, we need to go in this direction, so we'll click that so we can follow our mini-map more closely. So this portion of the quest, if you guys have seen this before, you know what's going to happen, but for those who might not have, for this portion of the quest, you have 3 guards that are guarding the prisoners in this area, all within the camp. That the fence should populate here in a second, but what's going to happen is there's 3 guards, and whenever you pull one, even though they're not close together, you're going to pull all 3. So we're going to build up our soul shards to a certain extent here. So you have to pretty much kill them as quickly as possible, and that can be a little difficult sometimes. And then Tootie says, I like to taunt my husband into the kitchen to do the dishes. Very nice. I try to help out and do the dishes when I'm here, but I know how that goes. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to save my instant cast for this guy here. And we'll light him up real quick. Drain his health. We do get a decent amount of health out of this guy. And then we'll use the Chaos Bolt on this one. Perfect. Alright, so that wasn't bad. The other bad thing about this quest is that the respawns are extremely quick. So we're going to work our way to the other side here. And try to stay away from this. Let's just see how quick they pop up. So we killed them maybe 10-15 seconds ago. Just kind of get a rough idea for how quickly. Alright, yep, they're back up. So probably within 30 seconds. Just kind of be careful of that, because if you're, say, doing this and you're low health or your pet's dead or whatever, you have about 30 seconds to get out of the area before they respawn once again. I think we can shoot through the fence, yes. Alright, that works. And we'll light this guy up as well. He says, Walkman says, hey you, good morning Walkman, how's it going? Says, I finally tried the Ironman challenge yesterday with the lock and I got as far as level 35. Very nice. Says, might not be official, but I can dedicate my Warlock to the Friends for Impact cost. Absolutely. What's the name of the realm and server that you're on? Is it retail or is it private server? Getting to level 35, that's pretty good actually. Let's see. It took me 2 tries just to get to 35, and this is the second time we've done it. For those that are, oh, looks like we have a red quality in the stream, so if quality goes down, guys, let me know. I have red quality on my output at the moment, so if it continues to, if there's buffering on your end or it looks rough, let me know, and we'll see what we can do to fix that. We might have to pause for the moment and just let this pass by. Like I said, we did lose internet the other day. It looks like it's alright now, so let me know if it bugged out for you guys. I'm going to try to get somewhere safe just in case that's an indication on my end that we might be disconnecting. Excuse me. Let's see. Let me update chat just in case. And if there's lag or buffering, refresh page. Oops, there we go. Add low quality output for about 15 seconds. There we go. And I'll catch back up with chat. It says, I'm on Frostmourne. It's Oceanic server, and my character's name is... Alright, Walkman. Well, welcome to the race, by the way. Yeah, as far as servers, locations, and whatnot, our region locations, you can be on Oceanic, North American, or EU. There we go. So, Walkman... 124, and that is, let's see, Frostmourne. Dots Serenos, very nice name. Dot Serenos. Dot SI. Yeah, on Frostmourne. Like I said, welcome to the race. Just for a note to anyone that's interested in joining. Okay, looks like output's low again, so I'm going to stand in a safe spot just in case this continues to do this. I don't know if it's my internet going out or if it's just YouTube being YouTube. My latency is a little bit higher than normal, so let's just let that play out for a quick second. Judy says you're not prepared. Let's see. Progress says video went out for a couple seconds, but it's fine now. Leanne says, oh, you didn't read my question, or if you answered because of the error while streaming. Yeah, Leanne, I think I missed it. Oh, I did. What creatures do you hate more? When leveling, you must do a quest in the air. You cannot take candle or the Murlocs. Let's see. Which quest? You know, I think as of now, my biggest concern, especially in the old level. Let's see. Let me type this out. We're going to stay in place. Staying in place while output. Video quality. Video quality is low. As much as possible, I try to make this as easy to watch, but sometimes I don't know if it's YouTube or the internet in general or what's going on, but we're getting hit with another red quality output. So we're just going to stay put just in case it's the stream on my end. And it looks like it's sticking around for a little bit, so we're not going anywhere, but just for the time being, we're going to play it safe. But what happened?
I picked that. It is two.
What's that?
He scratched me accidentally.
Oh.
Did
he think he was falling?
Huh?
Did he think he was falling?
No. When I picked him up, he scratched.
Oh, he's putting it. Okay.
It was not.
Sorry, guys. Sam's waking up and he accidentally scratched the girlfriend. But I didn't draw blood, so I think we're alright. Man. Walker says, just cleaning up. I died at level... Oh, did you really? Oh, Walkman, I'm sorry. What killed you, sis? I wanted to dedicate it to the cause. Well, welcome to the Ironman challenge, Walkman. It looks like like I said, the video stream's a little bit low quality right now, so I'm just giving that time to play itself out. While it's doing that, we'll put up the rules. Walkman joined us, it looks like at the 13th of September, so like I said, if you guys want to be a part of the Warlock race, you're more than welcome to do so. You don't have to stream it, it's just the more the merrier. I think we're closing in on 50, but Paratin says, I just DQ'd, welcome, very nice, congrats Paratin. And Tootie says, oh, I can't play WoW because my dad's computer is old, but I haven't seen any burps in the stream. That's interesting. So I'm getting a green bar on my end, so let's just let this play out for a little bit. Like I said, one, we don't want to risk it with you know, a disconnect in a bad situation, and two, it's not fun for the viewer, for you guys, if someone's streaming and the quality is low. So just trying to be considerate both ways. But as far as the worst characters or worst creatures to fight, that's a really good question. I would say Murlocs. Murlocs are pretty high on the list just because those guys have they're very grouped together, and then you have Murlocs with small patrol paths, and then you have Murlocs with very large patrol paths. So you can go from a situation where you're killing 1 or 2 at a time to all of a sudden being surrounded by 4 or 5 very quickly. Alright, so it looks like qualities on my end's pretty good now. So if it's still buffering and there's a delay on your end, just refresh the page and let's see if we can work it out that way. But with that, we'll head back into the world here. So it says I'm trying to play in window mode. Oh, try playing. I am actually. Excuse me. I do try to keep it in window mode as much as possible. So as of now, we are in window mode, believe it or not. And we need 4 more supply crates. We'll go ahead and light this guy up real quick. The person says 6 hours 30 minutes for level 25. What's the benchmark? Honestly, Paradin, I have no idea. I'm trying to get a rough idea for myself. I think at level 25 I had 6 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm about 10 minutes behind you. So that's not bad at all, I would suppose. Let's go ahead and use big spell on him. There we go. But I think Only would probably have a better idea of what some of the benchmark times are. I want to say someone had made it to level 25 in 5+ hours. You know, right at the little over 5 hour mark. But I'm not sure if I'm mixing that up with another number. So all I can go off is off of what I've written down so far. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up as well. But I think the trade-off for destruction is that you sacrifice a little bit of survivability for time. And I think I jumped before I got my spell off. Whoops. I did. So even as what do you want to call it? Destruction, you do get somewhat of a bubble when you use Soul Drain, it looks like. So that's kind of nice. That just increases our survivability a lot more, so that's not bad at all. And we need to run in here and grab this one. And I think our last 2 are going to be in the big tent as well as that little outpost out there. So let's go ahead and blow this guy up. But yeah, Paradin, I think as far as like the most notable benchmark, Only had his first tune go to 60 in 28.5 hours, and then followed it up with 25.5 hours ish. So that's your benchmark at the moment for level 60 anyway. And with that, dot this guy up once more, and we'll kill this one right here. I think we'll skip this guy from now. Fig says, hi Qyune, good to see you at good health. Oh, thank you, Fig. Good morning, how are you doing? Yeah, we're doing pretty well over here, actually. We only lost internet for about 24 hours, so it's just making sure all of our equipment's in one piece. But let's see, he says, what class do you think's the hardest to complete the Ironman challenge with? Let's see. To be honest, my instinct is to say melee is going to be a little bit more. Whoops. Watch out for that guy. I think Sam's going to end up aggroing him, so we'll go ahead and get a Chaos Bolt on him. Alright, and then we'll take care of that. Perfect. We'll summon Sam once again. For me, I think the Rogue's going to be pretty challenging, so whenever we make it to 110 with the Hunter, I'm going to switch to a Rogue and just see if there's a change in difficulty, or if it's more or less a change in speed only. Because like I said, I think the main difficulty in the Ironman challenge is just having that background knowledge and being able to understand what to look out for, what's coming next, and watch out for that guy. Let's see, we have Kodos here, so just to save time, we'll use the Hearthstone now. Probably don't need to, but I'm going to try to utilize the Hearthstone as much as possible. I think that's a good method of saving time. But as Zell says, no want to play WoW. Good luck, guys. Alright, Zell. Good luck as well. We'll be here for a couple more hours at least. Alright, so with that, let's turn this in. And we might have to ride this guy into combat this time. I've missed that quest and didn't read it beforehand, so I've always been trying to Make sure I talk to this guy if we have to ride him into battle. Yes, we do. Perfect. And then once we get to the hill, we just plant the little banner and progress through the rest of the quest. Tootie says, gosh, I remember spending hours getting rep with these guys, and I can't remember why. Oh, you know what? I do remember that as well. Like, there was 2 or 3 factions, and I'm watching my kilobytes here as far as the upload. Are you guys getting a smooth video? Because it looks like it's choppy on, or it could be choppy on my end. I'm not sure why it's spiky. Like I said, we lost internet due to the hurricane, so I don't know if they're still trying to hammer out the details with getting it back online and what's going on there. So if it does look rough, let me know and we'll try to work through it here. But he says, yeah, I do remember, and I can't remember what the rep was for. I think it was just for the sake of having. I don't know if there was much of a benefit, to be honest, but I can't remember now that you've mentioned it. So we'll plant the banner, and we are good to go. And here come all the cavalry here. Trick is to get the guys that are coming from far out, like this one right here, because we're kind of surrounded by mobs that don't necessarily have anything to do with the quest, so you don't want to focus on those guys all too much. And we got another wave coming here. And then Tootie says, smooth as glass. Alright, just making sure. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit of mixed signals on my end with the settings and the green light, so if it starts acting up, let me know. Oops, let's go ahead and dot that guy up, and we'll start funneling health just so we have that. Alright, perfect. I think we get a name. Nope, we don't. Tootie says, in order to get to the dungeon entrance, maybe so. Like I said, I can't remember what that was for. Go ahead and dot this guy up, just so we don't have to. Oh, okay. And Matt says, looking smooth here. All right, so we have 2 for 2 that says it's pretty smooth outgoing. All right, so yeah. If, like I said, if it starts acting up, let me know and we'll try to take it in stride and go from there. With that, we need to get a bunch of food for these guys. I think the Basilisk Frank. So we'll knock that out real quick. Try to grind our way back out of here, though. Tootie says, 3, 4. Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, I got you. Okay. And then Magic says, probably pointless like Ravenholt. Maybe so. I was thinking that was it. I wasn't sure if it was like Timber Mall where you could get a toy or trinket at the end or something like that, but it might have been just pointless, like you said. I know if back in vanilla, if you were raising your rep with one of the Centaur factions, you were lowering it with the other, but then some people managed to raise both the reps. I don't think you could have exalted with both, but you could have definitely it's definitely close. I think one would be exalted and the other maybe honored or revered or something. We did get a BOE green item there. Let's see, PC's. Our Pitbull says, hey Qyune, good morning Pitbull, how are you doing? Finally a couple days off. What's up? What am I looking at? So we are level 35.5, it looks like. Yeah, 35.5. We started at 33.5, so it's not too bad. It's a little bit slower than yesterday, but that's just kind of the nature of Deathless. You go through a significant portion of the questing where you're only doing 1 or 2 at a time. So that's the downside of it, but we're doing pretty well overall, I believe. I need to start using my Chaos Bolt more, though. That's a habit of mine that I need to break. There we go. Drain some health off of him, and then I'll blow him up. Because the whole benefit in destruction, in my opinion, is being able to use the Chaos Bolt. So we probably should utilize that a little bit more, just to keep the speed down as much as possible. But Magic says Timmo had exclusive crafting ref. Oh, did they really? Okay. Oh, forget. 22 int on weapon. Oh, so that's where that came from. Okay. Alright. Yeah, needless to say, I only made it to... With Timber Mall back in vanilla, I want to say I made it to all the way, maybe... early stages of Revered. I grinded those guys for a long time. So... But never did make it to Exalted. Xantric says, howdy Qyune. Good morning, Xantric. How you doing? Welcome. We are blowing basilisks up just so we can feed these centaur real quick. Alright, so that's 4 or 5 there. Go ahead and blow this guy up as well. And then Harja says, I'm currently level 26. Very nice, Harja. I stopped by your channel, by the way. I think I left a comment today, but congrats on 26. Harja, were you Alliance or Horde? I cannot remember that. Dude says Winter Spring even, or whatever that winter place is called. Yep, no, I think it is Winter Spring. I know I always mix it up with Winter Grass, which is your level 80 content, and Wrath of the Lich King. Drop a Chaos Bolt. There we go. And perfect. That's 5 pieces there. Then she says, good, and yourself? Yeah, like I said, we're doing pretty well. I'm having a little bit of issues with it. Looks like the output of oops, that's not what I wanted. With the output of the stream. So if it looks lower quality than normal, let me know. But from what it sounds like, everything's okay on everybody's end. So let's go ahead and we need to turn it in over here. Yes, okay. I guess the main thing I think I need to do is switch and use Chaos Bolt more often. I think I'm missing a lot of the benefit in being destruction if I don't use it as often as I can. Just because of it typically hits mobs at, I would say at level 35, it hits mobs for anywhere between 80 to 90% of the health. So it's definitely a good switch. Alright, throw that up. I says I'm a human warlock. Okay, that's right. Human. Pick the good race then. Grace says, yep, it's a Winter Spring. That place is beautiful. It is. I like Winter Spring's not bad. For me personally, I tend to prefer the more jungle or forest-like zones, but Winter Spring is very nice. It's much better than Teslas or Silithus. I think we'll just try to blow this guy up. For the most part, I'm not getting hit too awful much, so I need to stop using Drain Life, just because that spell is more so to recover health than anything else. We'll blow this guy up as well. She says, that place is a pain. Really, Tootie, I actually enjoy Winter Spring. And when it comes to the Hunter, that's probably one of my faster leveling zones. Winter Spring's not bad at all for me anyway. Alright, so with that, once we turn in the food here, everybody seems to turn neutral. And I think that's going to start with... Nope, maybe not. Alright. Want to watch out for that. Alright, so we have that quest to turn in, and then we have the Enraged Kodos. Hopefully those guys have respawned. The reason we skipped it, normally we do that first thing when we're over there in that questing area, but for some reason they hadn't spawned there. I don't know if we were following behind someone or what it is, but for some reason they didn't pop up, so we'll go take a look over there now and see if we can knock out that quest. But Pitbull says, how's Winter Spring? Nice. It's cold, snowy. I did mention that it's freezing cold. Well, as much it is freezing cold and you can slip. Alright, so there's no enraged ones here. The good thing about it is a lot of the quests are condensed there. So you're doing, the whole time you're in Winter Spring, you're doing 3, 4, maybe 5 quests at a time. And, oh man, I'm really surprised. I don't know if this is a bug or what the problem is, but let's go ahead and aggravate this guy real quick. And we'll drop a feast down. Alright, so that's done. So hopefully this doesn't bog down our leveling speed all too much. The zone's kind of slow as it is. Let me see here. The bad thing about it too is that you can't use the quest item outside of this little circle area that's highlighted on the minimap. So a lot of times you'll see a Kodo on an enraged one way over here, and there's nothing you can do about it except face pull it and then bring it back into the area. So that's a little bit of a bummer that this quest is a little buggy. I'll probably have to make note of that next time. Hard says, yep. Oh, I hate the area time. Oh wow, there's 2 people that hate the area. I'm surprised. I've always enjoyed Winter Spring. So we'll drop the food there. And maybe see if we can find another enraged Kodo over here. Let's just kill this guy so he doesn't chase us down. Alright, with that. 2 says it. The stream still looks fine here. Alright, well, if that's the case, that's maybe I'm just getting false signals on this end. So as long as you guys are getting a good signal, that's what's most important. Let me go over here and see if we have another enraged one. Run around this slasher just so there's really no need to kill it all too much. And we might have to come by this place a couple times before the... Oh, there's a paladin. But I don't see him killing too much of what I need, so... Alright. Well, we'll come back and finish this quest later. It looks like we just have to keep progressing southward. Oh, you know what? I need to go through that graveyard. I have to go through and we have to pick up 10 skulls out of the graveyard, so maybe we'll luck out and come across more enraged Kodos as we come back and turn that quest in. Alright, let's see. Alright, says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm now running Affliction. Are you? I did Affliction up to 42, but for the time being, I think I've really enjoyed the destruction aspect. The Chaos Bolt's super nice, so we'll see how long that takes care of us. So let's blow this guy up. Just the Chaos Bolt by itself is really nice. Alright, so we'll grab that, run over here. I think there was a skull on the other side. Real quick, it says, I'm giving them all I go at one point. Low level Destro seems to kill things faster. It does seem that way. Like I said, if it turns out that level 40 generates more DPS with the Felguard, we'll switch that way. But from start to end, it seemed like Affliction was a lot safer than a lot of specs, but you sacrificed the speed quite a bit. Alright, so we did get another BOE. We have 43 bag slots available, so I'm not too concerned about that. Dot this guy up real good. And then Walker says, I'm loving Affliction. I think it's a little mana heavy at times. It can be. Especially the Drain Soul spell seems to drain a lot of mana. So I try to use that later than earlier, especially in the course of DPSing the mobs, but drain that off. There we go. But yeah, for the most part, I think it's your Drain Soul spell that drains most of your mana. Dot this guy up. A lot of these birds tend to bug out, so just kind of be aware of that. They'll fly across the surface of the bones and then just get stuck there. So try to avoid those guys as much as possible. I think we have 2 skulls here. Hopefully the Kodos don't spawn. Alright, that's 1. Oh no, sorry, that's 3. And then we'll mount up and grab that one. Hopefully not aggroing the bird. Alright. And let's see. The skulls do respawn pretty quick, so whoops. Yep, we aggroed it. And let's see, Magic says I managed to sell. Whoops. Let's go ahead and There we go. Magic says, I managed to sell a BOE green while doing this for 6K. Good start on a new server. Absolutely. And if you've managed to acquire that much, I would kind of, my preference would be to stay on that server, just because you might get another green, and you know, by the end of the month or whatever, you might be close to having enough gold to purchase a WoW token. That's kind of why I've stuck to this server as much as possible. Alright, so we'll blow that guy up as well. Probably have to drain soul or drain life out of him. He did get us to 75%. Alright. And let's see, that is 7 of 10. And I think there's one skull right here. We can probably start working our way back in the other direction. Like I said, these skulls respawn pretty quick, so it's not too bad as far as waiting for these things to pop back up. Pitbull says, talking about gold, did they remove gold caps? No, Pitbull, the gold cap now, it used to be at 1 million, and now it's 10 million per character. And then, you know, if you have your own guild, you can have even more than that. So let's go ahead and drain. So since we're at 70%, we'll go ahead and eat real quick. Alright, so with that, we are at 9 of 10, and probably going to have a skull pop up right here. So hopefully when we go back to turn this in, we'll come across some more enraged Kodos, but it just seems like at the moment, they are pretty scarce to come by. I'm not sure why. But yeah, Pitbull, as far as now, I think there's like a bit of a challenge, like I guess another Warcraft challenge, to see if you can get 10k gold or 10 million gold by the end of the expansion. I keep purchasing WoW tokens, so it might be a little while before I get there. It says the main server is full of characters and gold, so I had to move somewhere else. Yeah, I did too. All my on Khadgar and Alaria is full of 110s, so I can't make any more characters over there. Let's see. Alright, so there's our third enraged Kodo. That's nice. So drop food here. And see if we can happen across 2 more enraged Kodos. Like I said, Desolate's can be a little bit more of a slow leveling area, but it should pick up here pretty soon. It's in my opinion, it's still not worth going from Kalimdor to Eastern Kingdoms, just because it's a little bit of a all the time that you're saving and questing, you lose just traveling to that new area. So for me, I don't see the advantage. For others, they may be better at Eastern Kingdoms in general, so that might be a good trade-off for them, but for me it's not too much of a decent trade-off. Alright, so we'll come back and grab that last Kodo after we've knocked out these 2 quests. Let's see. Hardy says, do you extend stream every Sunday? No, Hardy, generally speaking, I take Sundays off just to kind of catch up with everything and see how other people are doing, as well as try to timestamp my videos. I didn't knock that out this weekend because we were preparing for the hurricane, but no, generally Sundays we take off just to have that I want you to speak to, there we go, just to have that break, so to speak. You don't want to do it too much and burn yourself out, so Sunday's why we take that off. And then every other Tuesday. So Judy says, the magic, I can take some go off your hands if you like. Very nice. There's always people willing to take that troublesome heavy gold off your hands. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn this in real quick, and there we go. Alright, so let's, at this point, whoops, I guess at this point we'll kill this guy. He did manage to stun us. First hit. That's impressive. Okay. The other good thing about Warlocks is that you don't have to go back to the city to get their mount training. It's pretty much as soon as you hit 20 and level 40, you automatically learn the training, so that's kind of nice. And let's see here. Hardy says, my stream cut off for a second, opened a new tab of YouTube and watched it again. Really? That is interesting why it's... Yeah, because we have a significant drop in those viewing, so... I think YouTube's bugging out quite a bit. Yeah, because it bugged out over there as well. I think that's the wrong code. Let's see, my stream cut off. Alright, so let me get somewhere safe. It looks like we're just having a lot of issues with YouTube today. I wonder why they're having so many problems. Now for those guys that are that watch other streams, are other streamers having as many issues as we're having? Because I'm trying to figure out if this is an ISP problem or if it's more of a YouTube issue. Right. Is struggling. That's weird. If there is a stoppage or lagging or buffering, refresh the page. There we go. Duty says, I had a few bumps just now. YouTube probably. Hardy says, I've watched other streamers like Slightly Impressive and had no problem. Really? That's interesting. I wonder if maybe it's OBS on my side. Yeah, because the quality of the streams dropped once again. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's too bad. So we're back? Okay. Yeah, so I think what I'm getting is when people get disconnected, then I'm getting a red flag, so let's let that reset real quick. Looks like we're going to be plagued with technical issues this morning. That's unfortunate. It's not bad here, just a few second burp. Alright, thank you, Tootie. So we'll keep pushing on. Let me see. My latency's a little bit higher than normal, but it's not too bad in comparison to what it could be. Since we are kind of spinning our wheels with the quality of the stream, I guess I'll stick around and see if I can get this last Kodo, since that's taking a little bit of our time. That's really weird. I wonder... Let me see something. To the stream. Output. Video bit rates 45 or 4 grand. Let's try this number. Maybe that'll help. So we're gonna see if we can get control of the stream quality that way. And then I'm going to do a quick test over here on my end. Sorry guys, like I said, normally this isn't as bad as it is, but for today we are struggling quite a bit with the YouTube upload. And what I keep seeing is sometimes there'll be 30 to 60 people watching, and then all of a sudden there's 9. And it drops off, so I'm not sure what's quite going on with it. Give me about 5 seconds here just to kind of get an idea and gauge for my upload. Alright, so it looks like my upload's fine. My upload is about 5 megabytes, so we're fine there. Alright. It might be more YouTube side, to be honest. I'm not sure. We'll keep pushing along. Sorry for the delay here. But we'll keep pushing along and see how far we can get with a lower quality stream. If it looks like it's going to stay like this the entire time, we might have to call it for the day and then attempt it again tomorrow, and I'll just have to do a lot of problem solving in the meantime. Yeah, it looks like I have a pretty much solid red line for the upload quality, so we'll go ahead and drop this down because internet's going just fine. Oh, sorry, not internet, but Warcraft's going just fine, but the upload is what's struggling, even though I have 5 megabyte upload. That's interesting. Sorry guys, wish we could work through this a little bit smoother. 2D. Very nice. We'll get there. We'll keep on. We'll keep pushing on and see how far we can get. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn this in finally. Took us a lot longer than we wanted to as far as to get those kodos, but we did, and we are off down south. What's going to happen is we're going to, once we run out of here, we're going to come across a quest where we go south and take care of some undead stuff, and that quest is orange the entire time, but I haven't had a trouble with it being on the hunter or the warlock, so I think we'll probably do it this time again. Now it says back, good morning now, how are you doing? Welcome back, by the way. So now it looks like we're having a little bit of quality issues. Are you struggling on your end when you upload the video? I know it's going to be completely different coming from UK, but we are struggling severely with the quality output here. And 2D says it's got to be YouTube. It must be, because like I said, everything is green on my end except for, it could also be OBS. I'm not sure why that would bug out. We might have to switch from OBS to XSplit. I don't know which one, if one's necessarily higher quality than others, but it seems like OBS works fine most of the time, but today it's been just a mess to deal with, unless there's an update for it that I don't have. But it looks like we're going to have our first really slow day in 2.5 months, so that's not too bad. I mean, it happens. I just hate to stream at low quality and then everybody, you know, have to suffer through the buffers, which 9 times out of 10 most people don't, but you know, there are those few that watch it, so I want to make it as enjoyable as possible for you. I think we'll avoid all of these guys. We don't really necessarily need them, but the quest we just picked up that I was talking about is Ghostoplasm. You notice that it's orange right here. Oops. Alright, so looks like we have one guy chasing us. Like I said, we'll probably level before we do it, and it'll still be orange, but I haven't had any issues with the hunter or the warlock, so. Now it says, no, I found that when watching back, you have to force the quality to be HD and not auto. Let's skip by that guy. But it looks good right now. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know why I'm getting all red signals on my end though. Alright. Well, we'll keep pushing on then. Thank you. Maybe this is what you have to endure before you get to the super chat and the 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm not sure. It seems like King says, good morning. Well, it's morning for me. Good morning, King. How are you doing? Welcome. So we're doing all right over here. I think leveling, we're not doing too bad. The issue that we're having more so is with the stream quality. Trying to make sure that's smooth all the way through, but it looks like I'm gonna have to play with OBS. So if you guys see me go live throughout today, I'm not going to be streaming this afternoon, but I might do a little bit of problem solving, so I might It might appear that I'm streaming, but I'll probably go back off within 2 or 3 seconds. Or sorry, 2 or 3 minutes, just to make sure we don't run into this issue tomorrow morning. Not quite in line of sight. There we go. Now it says reset or restart stream. Maybe so. Let me I wonder if that's what we'll need to do here. That's interesting. Yeah, we might have to take a break and see if we can problem solve this. That's really interesting though. It's my kilobytes per second. Sorry for those who don't stream and you're having to suffer through all this terminology, but I do want to make it as easily watchable as soon as possible. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and knock this guy out. And blow this up real quick. So the idea here is to kill these guys in an order that gets you closer to that cave by the time you kill the last one, just so that the next leg of the quest has you actually go into the cave. So you want to make sure you're not having to run around in too much of a circle. I wanted to use Chaos Bolt there. There we go. Alright, so with that, now it says, and your router just in case. Yeah, we might have to. Qyune says, do I keybind? R2D says, do I keybind all my spells? Most of them. The ones I very rarely use, like the water buff or the unending breath buff, and the creation of the Healthstones. I do have the use of the Healthstones keybound, but the creation of them I do not. So the ones that I've more often used, I do bind those to a key just to make it a lot more easy of a leveling process. Haza says, too many hurricanes, oh man. And also, hello, good morning Haza, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. Yes, too many hurricanes. I think there's Jose out there in the middle of the Atlantic, but most of the models just have it out there spinning around into nothing before it does anything. So I'm not too overly concerned about that one. And then all throughout Irma, I think the Katia is how they were pronouncing it. I think that one just kind of fizzled out into nothing. Oh wow. So if you kill this guy, his pet should despawn. That's kind of nice. So we'll keep on pressing forward here. Try to keep the health bubble up as much as possible. Alright, so stream looks like it's back into green. That's odd. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll problem solve it later. But for now, it looks like it's not impacting too many people, so we'll be alright with that. And then Haza says nearly 1,000 subs. Almost, yep. We're closing in on it. Thank you guys very much for that, by the way. And being a part of the channel, as it's closing in on about two and a half months old. I think this is our 73rd Ironman episode, so not too bad at all. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would, so hopefully we could raise a little bit of funds for those guys, and funds but also awareness for Friends for Impact, just so that they can use a little bit more funds to research the brain tumors in children, which is what this is all about for the month of September, for those that are new. Alright, so with that, I'll knock that out. And I think I'll summon Sam once more, just in case we get in a situation where he dies. It's not too much of a stretch. We'll go ahead and work from this way to our left here. There we go. Blow this guy up as soon as possible. Usually I try to kill the pets first, but it's not always necessary, especially if the pets hit for almost nothing. But we'll blow this guy up. And then I think the guy we need to kill is in this one? Yes, he is. He's in that one. Okay. So just so this guy doesn't sneak up behind us, we'll kill him as well. And take care of that patrol back there. But yeah, trying to keep an eye on the health bar of the stream. It looks like it's back in the red for some odd reason. So with that, dot that up real quick, and dot him up as well. And we'll save the chaos bolt for this guy. Nice, perfect. With that, Miles says, a streamer with nearly 1,000+ viewers has said that YouTube is buffering recently and it interrupts their streams. Maybe they're working on it. Really, Mel? Oh, where'd you see that at? That's interesting. If that's actually the case. I wonder why that would be that way. Maybe that's the trial by fire. We have to make sure we hit 1,000 subs with the bad streaming. Bad streaming with the poor output. We won't say bad streaming. That sounds bad. Alright, so with that, go ahead and turn this in at the back of the cave. Once we turn this in, these guys go neutral. And we can kind of move through them a lot more freely. But for now, it's just a matter of plowing through this. And he despawns. Perfect. And then we'll knock out this guy as well. Sometimes the disadvantage in going into a cave or having content, what do you want to say? Land such as this, the texture of the land and the overall geography of it, sometimes you can't see through the dirt and it won't allow you to cast items, which makes sense, but just makes it a little bit more difficult for the range class, because otherwise you kind of have to go up to them and face pull and then cast. So Vega, good morning Vega, how are you doing? It says retail world. No, we are doing retail WoW. One of the main reasons we don't do private servers is one that I believe Blizzard is here in the near future going to crack down on the private server streaming, and they've already done that on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Twitch. A lot of your larger channels that would stream it, they've either banned or given them a warning. So that's kind of what we're going to stay away from as much as possible. And now if they do legacy servers and we do the Ironman challenge, we'll definitely do it on a legacy server. But as of now, yeah, we're definitely not going to be streaming on a private server, just because YouTube as well as Blizzard do not approve of that too incredibly much. So hopefully we won't aggro these guys. We'll stay along the side wall here. There we go. But yeah, Vega, that's kind of the reasoning behind that. Otherwise, yes, it would be absolutely fun to do the Ironman challenge on a legacy vanilla server, and that is level 36. Starting to accrue more and more pets here. And let's see, we're gonna have to run back out of here. I think it's best we go in this direction. The reason I didn't kill these guys is it wasn't really worth the time investment to do so, just because once you turn in the quest, they turn neutral, so there's no reason to spend too much time killing them all. Now it says, I didn't want to say the streamer's name, but it's just rude to you. But I wanted you to know that it happens to larger streams. Oh, okay. Oh no, I appreciate that, Mal. I have no idea what's going on with the quality. So no, not at all. I do appreciate that. Vegas says the crackdown on private server streaming is very overrated. To be honest, yeah, it has happened, but not nearly as much as people think or make it out to be. It's just overhyped. I stream every night on Elysium. Do you really? Alright, well, I'll try to stop by your channel and see how it looks or how everything's going over there. But, no, I tend to play it more safe than others. Just because I think it's coming. It wouldn't surprise me at all if, you know, if they look up people's content, especially YouTube, in the sense that, you know, they're so stringent on the music alone and that type of copyright content that it would not surprise me if they worked with Blizzard and banned everybody that was streaming, you know, private server content. Vegas says, but yep, you should play it on Elysium, bro. Retail has gone down the drain. I don't know. Like I said, I've always had the opinion that Warcraft's been a very good game. It's just kind of shifted reasons why it's been good. So, you know, in vanilla it was good because there was a lot more immersion. The time investment to get your gear or get your items was a lot more significant. You know, there was more value generated in getting your whatever it was, whether it's a trinket or, I say trinket, piece of gear, whether it's a trinket or a toy or any other piece of gear. It had a lot more value because there's a lot more time sunk into it. But I don't know, I also think the game's very good as it is right now, just because there's a lot more content. The graphics are a lot better than they used to be. I don't know, there's just a lot more content, and it's in a good place where it is right now. Vegas says, no, oh, I stream on Twitch, not YouTube. Okay, I got you. Well, just be careful. Like I said, it's only going to get worse as the technology improves. Now, are you a higher end raider, or are you doing the leveling as well, Vega? Brody says, assuming you get to level 40, will you get faster mount speed? Yes, sir, Paragon. We'll get the 100% mount speed automatically at level 40. I think Warlocks as well as Paladins do have that capability. So, that should be in the works for us pretty easily. It says, WoW was terrible, but Legion's been amazing. New content every 12 weeks. Yeah, so that seems to be the overarching theme, is to have content every 77 days or 11, 12 weeks, whatever it is. But, no, as far as expansions and whatnot, I'd say Legion's been my favorite by far. I've just... Oh, we did get a quest item. Just, like I said, a lot of content. I do enjoy the... I can't mount here. That's interesting. Okay. I do enjoy the pet battles, the transmog farming, the mount runs. So, a lot of the secondary games that a lot of core players don't necessarily enjoy, I do. So that's one of the reasons I've enjoyed Legion as much as I do. But that's just, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to personal preference. But as it stands, I think Legion's been the best expansion so far. Like it says, I do leveling and rating BWL on Elysium. ZG coming out soon. Very nice. I do miss ZG, and I do regret that I wasn't able to get the ZG Tiger mount, Zulian Tiger. That was one I was definitely after back when that content was available. That's one dot there. And then Minch says, hey Qyune, good morning Minch, how are you doing? Welcome back. The stream quality has been a little rough today, so if you guys do have some sort of bugs or anything else, let me know. But for the most part, we're going to keep trucking along here and just see if we can work through the issues. Go ahead and give Sam and myself a little bit of a bubble with the Drain Life. And now says you have to buy the speed boost cube. Oh, wait a minute. Buy the speed boost. For what now? To level quickly, or? Oops, let's go ahead and dot this guy up. says, I thought so too now, as far as the Warlords of Draenor, I think. And I knew 20 was free, but faster at 40 is purchased. Are we talking about the mounts?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. So the level 40 writing is not free. Okay, I got you. Alright, so we have 2 here. Let's blow up this one real quick. I didn't know that. For some reason I was assuming it was free. Okay. I guess just because I had level 20 riding. Alright, I got the 60% mount speed free. I was just assuming that the other one was going to be free. Alright. The more you know, right? Only says level 20 is free, and then level 40 is not. Okay. Mystery solved. There we go. And then now it says yes to writing as well. Oops, we'll go ahead and turn these in and grab this other quest. Vegas says, to be honest, Blizzard should do with, let me turn this in and then we'll read that real quick. So grab that quest as well as this one. And off we go. But Vegas says, to be honest, Blizzard should do the vanilla Burning Crusade like Sega did with Sonic. Let's fans do it. Look at Sonic Mania, best Sonic game for over 10 years. I think I played Sonic once, back on Sega, and I haven't played it since. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. As it stands now, like, you know, with them producing content for Legion every 77 days, or even if it goes into, say, every 100 days, I don't think we'll see legacy servers at that point. I would say we'd have to see another content drought, such as in Mists of Pandaria or in Warlords of Draenor, before we saw legacy servers again, or just the thought of it. Because what's going to happen is, since legacy servers is technically new content for a lot of people, even a lot of people that play now, you know, they'd be competing with themselves. So until they have some sort of drought in content, I don't see them creating a legacy server. Now, I think there would be a lot of people who would play it, excuse me, but I think it'd also be almost too many people. You know, since it's new, it would pull from their already new content. So it's just not a very good business model, if that makes sense. And he says, back to level 35 now on the Hunter Qyune. Very nice, Minge. How are you liking it so far? You're in Deathless then, right? Have you done the Naga portion of the questing? Because I know that can be rough. Oh, he did get that off. Okay. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up. And Vegas says, Blizzard should hire the fans behind Nostarius and Elysium to release the official website. In all honesty, I think Blizzard could do it on their own. They just don't want to. And like I said, it's more of probably a business decision than anything else. Maybe until there's a dry spell on content, or it could be, you know, that they're wanting to release a vanilla type content in the sense that it has a difficult gameplay, more so than, you know, what's considered difficult now, and release it when there's not as much going on within Legion, but also release it at a higher quality than it used to be. If you look back at the old, you know, screenshots and old videos of Warcraft and Vanilla, they're not bad. They're just a lot worse than they are now. So I think in an effort to go back and upgrade all of that content, I don't know, they would probably go back and put a lot more work into it than what, say, Elysium or Nostarius had as far as the visual effects and whatnot. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and I think we need 6 of these. Yes, we need 6. So with that, but yeah, I think ultimately legacy servers will provide more content and allow people to play the game as it used to be, because there's a lot of players even now that have never actually had a chance to enjoy that content, and sometimes it's held on a higher. It was fun, but sometimes it's held on a higher pedestal than it needs to be, and maybe having people be able to play it would kind of bring it back down to earth. Sometimes when you look back at old music or old TV shows or stuff like that, you tend to have a tendency to want to look at it through rose-colored glasses, if that makes any sense. And that says because, yeah, for some reason I was thinking it was free now, but I guess not. One can only hope, right? It says, I think Blizzard is afraid to release legacy servers. If people rather want that than retail, it will be admitting. I don't think there's too much of a pride in the sense, because you know, a lot of the guys that did the retail or do the retail content, and a lot of the guys that do the vanilla stuff are two different sets of people. I just think it's more of a business model when it comes down to the end of the day, where you know, if you release content, new content on top of each other, it turns into a mechanism of competing with yourself, and it's just difficult to conduct business efficiently doing that. And it says, wow, the buffering on the stream is pretty bad. Every few seconds, never seen it this bad for it. Oh, thank you, Mensch. Like I said, yeah, it's been a little rough today. And I have no idea why. I don't know if it's OBS or if it's YouTube. But Mal was saying something that a lot of the streamers with my bracket of subscribers are running into this issue. So maybe that's something to consider or to look at. But hopefully sooner than later we can get through this. But yeah, I do apologize for the quality. Hopefully it's not as bad as it in the future. It's not going to be as bad as it is today. And now it says it's buffering for her as well at the moment. And yeah, I'm gonna have to, yeah, if you guys see me stream later today, don't worry about it too much. I'm just probably going to delete those videos, because it's probably me, more so me, what do you want to call it, problem solving on my end. I might have to give it a shot with XSplit and see if it's between XSplit or OBS. So if you do see that later today, don't worry about missing anything. But yeah, I think with that we're going to keep it down to 3 hours, and we may even cut it shorter than that, just because there's no real reason to put out rough content like this if everybody's struggling to watch it. So we'll kind of see how that goes into the future. Roll credit says, yeah, it's buffering for me as well. So it looks like it's starting to buffer for a lot of people. Alright. If that's the case, Vegas says, I've always wanted legacy servers. I can swear that after playing it, it's not about rose tinted glasses and style. Vanilla has a certain feeling to it. Vega, when it comes to that, I think at the end of the day, it comes to the individual player. In my opinion, I believe a lot of people who enjoy Legion would not necessarily enjoy vanilla. Some might, and I'm sure a significant portion would, but not everyone would. You know, you're talking about a good game, but it's for a transition of reasons. You know, a lot of people aren't necessarily interested in the immersion as much as they used to be. A lot of people just want to get in, get stuff done. You know, they don't want to spend 3 hours to make it through a single battleground, or they don't want to wait for 40 people to form a raid to get 3 items of loot in a 40-man raid. It's just a different perspective that comes down to the individual at the end of the day. And I think the transition that Warcraft's made between now and then, or then and now, is purely going to be, at the end of the day, based on someone's opinion. It says, Walkman says, I'm buffering bad too. Okay, oops, let's go ahead and blow this guy up. I would like Sam to take care of that. There we go. And we'll sit down and eat real quick. Vega says, I don't know how to explain it, but there was a certain charm with it. Blizzard got the formula perfect and the game. Yeah, like I said, Vega, I think for those people who enjoy the immersion aspect, it's a perfect formula. It was very fun. The amount of time that you spent doing stuff, made the stuff, whatever it was that you did, whether it was a 5-man dungeon or getting a piece of gear from rep grinding, it made it worth it because it was a time investment. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to the individual person. But let's see, when I play current retail, it's so much on. He says I'm buffering, but it's not bad. Alright, so it looks like it's getting pretty bad all around. So with that, let's go ahead and call it for today, guys. I'm sorry that it's going to be a short stream, but if it's this low quality, there's no point in keep doing it. So like I said, if I stream later today, don't worry about hopping on and watching or feel like you're missing any content. We're just pretty much going to be problem solving throughout the day. So let me go ahead and sell stuff. So with that, we'll call it for today. It's a short stream just because of the technical issues. I'll try to chime into other people's streams today and see if they're struggling as much as I am. I don't know if it's YouTube or what it is, but we'll do some problem investigation today, and I guess I could complete this quest since it's here. There we go. And let's mount back up. So it says, I like legacy servers, but I'd rather Blizzard focus on the storyline they've been creating rather than look back at old content. Yeah, so, and like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to what the individual kind of prioritizes. Do they prioritize the immersion? Do they prioritize the storyline as it is now in that content? When it comes down to, let's say, a lull time, or there's a lot of a content drought, maybe they can put in legacy servers then, but I think they would really be shooting themselves in the foot to put that out right now. I'm just going through selling stuff that may, just so I don't accidentally click on it later, as well as when we start back tomorrow, we have clean bags. So we'll go ahead and sell everything we can here, and then put BOEs aside just so we can throw those up on the auction house. So that's soulbound, that's soulbound. Sell that as well. And there we go. So we did get a staff and we have boots today, so that's kind of nice. Whoops, I need that axe back. No, it is soulbound, okay. And that's soulbound as well. Alright, so with that, go ahead and log out just so we're safe. Min says, I have the Nugget Skies again, but haven't done the quest yet. I died on this one time before, just fucking have the courage to do it again. I don't blame you, Minge. Minge, one of the things that I did to compensate is every time I kill a servant of Neptune, I will drop my suit, summon Sam, that way he has full health, and then I'd go at it again. So you might just want to take it much slower and make sure yourself as well as your pets at full health, because those things do hit like trucks. Let's see. Min says, I'm going to have to go, Qyune. The buffering is making it unwatchable. Alright, Min, like I said, yeah, we're going to call it here today. And I'm playing all the wrong servers. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put this up as well, just for information purposes. Ironman challenge rules are on your right. The Warlock challengers today are on your